Kick back and fill your cup. I'm Trillin' Crunk. It's the world's realest unk. Uno, back with another installment. Check game. We all know Philadelphia is one of the most dangerous cities in the country. I lived out there for a while and I experienced the insanity firsthand. Between open air drug markets like Kensington and heavily activated drug trafficking slash violent zones like North Philly, South Philly, Southwest, Southeast. Pretty much every single section of the entire city has got some janky shit going on. All right. The murder rate last year dropped 36%, but still had more homicides than almost any city in the country. Philly's been going crazy, and a lot of that is documented by the drill music scene. Artists such as, rest in peace, YBC Duel, Kwani, Skrilla. There's several others. Philly drill music is at an all-time high right now, and we're seeing the effects of this. So I think that in the light of, since the incarceration of this dude, Noah Scurry, who is, I believe they say he's the person that murdered Gillie the kid's son. I'm not sure. This video, I'm sure, will read. From my understanding, he's the guy that killed Gillie the kid's son, and apparently he has a lot of other bodies. Like, this is his fourth body, apparently. And this dude was, was one of the best students in his class. It was a all-American athlete. So the fact that this dude, back in the day, in the hood, people would try to protect the athletes and keep them out of situations like this. But nowadays, we have a generation plagued by kids who are hitting the court and then trying to put numbers on the board on the streets as well. So we're going to take a look at this video by American Confidential called Noah Scurry, the full story, and react to it. Let's see what it's talking about.
Standout student who was killed earlier this week. It was reported by Philadelphia Inquirer that This is Noah Scurry. He was a 17-year-old high school basketball star and a standout student who was killed earlier this week. It was reported by the Philadelphia Inquirer that he had the highest SAT score in his entire school when he took it.
Now, I'm assuming that there's other smart kids at the school. Just because of schools in the hood, that don't mean that there's not a lot of brilliant minds there. But so for him to have the highest SAT score is fucking crazy. I mean, dude's got to be very intelligent.
A student at Samuel Fells High School, his principal described him as gifted. In a letter to the school's families, they confirmed that he was a talented student athlete. It was around 7:15 a.m. on January 14th. The 17-year-old was leaving for school when he was gunned down, according to the Philadelphia police, as reported by Fox 29.
Philadelphia police say a 17-year-old was shot and killed along Rohrer Street in the city's Feltonville section. It happened around 7:15 this morning.
Over 20.
So, I don't know if this was a retaliation for one of the drills that this dude did, but I guess we're going to, as the video progresses, we're going to learn more about the situation. But, no matter what happens or what anybody did, life is a precious thing, and I RIP to that man. I'll still say an RIP to that man.
Shell casings were found at the scene. It was reported by the news that he was with his mother when he was shot, as if they were about to get into the car for her to drop him off across town.
That's what the trenches in Philly look like too. It's like it's like the houses blend together like one big blob. It's like a bunch of townhomes and they're all together. It's brick on the outside, and yeah, that's what North Philly looks like.
School. Authorities recovered a white Jeep Cherokee on Wednesday morning, the next day abandoned near Somerdale and Godfrey Avenues, approximately 2 miles from where Noah Scurry's home on Rohrer Street in Feltonville, where the deadly shooting took place. According to Deputy Commissioner Frank Venor, the vehicle appeared to have been damaged in a crash. Investigators are currently reviewing additional surveillance footage in hopes of piecing together the events that led to Scurry's death. While no suspects have been named and no motive has been determined, law enforcement officials are working tirelessly to identify the perpetrators.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't imagine what a difficult job it is to be a police officer in Philadelphia, particularly involved in homicide investigations. Like, insane. Nobody trying to cooperate. Ain't nobody going to, like, man, they got a tough job.
Surveillance footage suggests that at least 2 individuals were inside the Jeep during the shooting.
But it's still fuck the whole lease. Don't get it twisted.
The details of Noah Scurry's final moments paint a grim picture. He had just grabbed his backpack and was stepping into his mother's car when he was ambushed by a barrage of gunfire. More than 20 bullets were fired, as I said, and Noah Scurry was struck multiple times in the chest and abdomen. Despite being rushed to Jefferson Einstein Hospital, he was pronounced dead within minutes. Family members, friends, and classmates were devastated by the sudden and senseless loss. A GoFundMe campaign launched by his cousin seeks to help cover funeral expenses.
What's bro throwing up in the pic, huh?
In her heartfelt message, she described Noah as a bright, loving young man with a heart full of kindness. Noah, only 17 years old, had such a caring and loving heart, McGlenn wrote. He would do anything for his family, but most of all, for his siblings. Tributes and condolences have poured in across social media, where friends expressed their grief and shared memories of the teen. Speechless, I love you, one friend posted alongside photos of Noah Scurry. At Samuel Fells High School, where Scurry excelled both
Bro's hooping, I ain't gonna lie.
academically and athletically, the loss has been profoundly felt. He was known for his sharp intellect and athletic prowess, which the news heavily focused on shortly after his passing. Scurry was an advanced placement or AP student, the
Damn, 17 years old. Man.
highest SAT scorer in his school, and a standout point guard on the basketball team. On Wednesday, January 15th, the school created a supportive environment for grieving students, providing counseling services and a quiet space in the auditorium for students to mourn. In an Instagram post, school officials reminded the community of the importance of kindness and mutual support. The greatest gift of support we have is each other, the school wrote. Be kind to each other today and always.
Is that like a thinly veiled, don't go slide on the ops?
Monique Braxton, a spokesperson for the school district, said that Noah was the kind of student that everyone wants. Noah Scurry's social media was filled with basketball highlight reels that showcased his skills on the court, where he effortlessly crossed over defenders, executed smooth layups, and
I ain't gonna lie, bro kind of raw. He got some hoops.
nailed three-point shots. His undeniable talent was matched only by his bright future, a future now tragically cut short. The broader context of Noah Scurry's death is part of the Philly daily reminder of a persistent gun violence plaguing the city. According to Jackie Golden of the city controller's office, there have been 30 shooting victims in the city this year, 5 of whom are 18 years or younger. As the investigation into Noah Scurry's death continues, his memory...
That's crazy. Already, it hasn't even been 20 days. It's the 19th of January, and there's already been 30 shooting victims, reported shooting victims in Philly. I think, yeah, it's looking slimy already.
memory lives on in the hearts of those who knew and loved him. His life, marked by academic excellence, athletic talent, and a caring spirit, is a painful reminder of the urgent need to address the violence claiming young lives in Philadelphia and beyond.
Philadelphia police say a 17-year-old was shot and killed along Rohrer Street in the city's Feltonville section.
Man.
It happened around 7:15 this morning. That's where we find NBC 10's Matt DeLucia live at the scene. What do we know about the victim, Matt, and any suspects in this case?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, Johnny, homicide investigators are still here at the scene. They've been here all morning. You can see the tape is still up, and the shooting itself happened in this narrow driveway behind the 5,000 block of
Those fools were like lurking, huh? Just waiting for bro to come out.
Rohrer Street. This is just off the boulevard. And as you mentioned, this happened around 7:15 this morning. Police showed up here. They found the 17-year-old who had been shot several times throughout his body. The young man was rushed to Einstein, and he died just
You know, all this shit sucks because, like, I love the unhinged, rebellious, almost punk rock energy that I felt from drill music. And I love how much it just crushes the boundaries of what people consider decency, basic human decency. From a voyeuristic perspective, from a fan perspective, I can see the appeal. But at this point, it's just getting pretty fucking disgusting with the amount of deaths, with all these kids killing each other, and the music almost incentivizing and documenting, incentivizing, and encouraging more of this shit. We got to 2025. We got to drill in a different way. That's why I'm glad the New York is getting on that sexy drill wave and all that. We need to do something else because it's a great beat, it's a great tempo, it's a great energy. But the youth, I mean, this is literally the soundtrack to self-induced genocide if we don't do something about it at this point.
After 7:30. Now, earlier, we could see a backpack and a shirt laying on the street. But as of right now, police have not made any arrests, but they did find a gun out here. And as investigators are going through this area, they're also going door to door, trying to get some surveillance video, trying to get some idea.
I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that was Scurry's gun. Because if it wasn't, if one of them dropped the blick, that's almost as bad as Rondo's homie leaving the cell phone on the scene of the shooting back in the day. And if you know Chirac lore, I mean, that's ridiculous.
Idea of who may have pulled this trigger and killed the 17-year-old right as the sun was coming up here along Rohrer Street.
So let's really get to that. I think we're now going to get to the bottom of who this guy really was, because, like I said, he wasn't just a hooper. This dude was active in the streets, and he was an active driller, and he made songs about it, too. He was a rapper, so I think it's kind of part of it. So Noah reps CC Parkside, and apparently, hold on, how do I... Let's do that for now, yeah.
If people like myself and THF.
So apparently, so he's really from CC/Parkside, but they had an internal beef, and he's ran off with the Parkside side of things. Apparently, this is the context, this is the lore that led to whatever's going on right now. All right.
If people like myself and THF Philly weren't around, this would have been the end of the story. By the day of Noah's death, as is all too clear by now, 17-year-old star student athletes aren't just executed in front of their moms for no reason. There's always a story behind it that the news is reluctant to give for political or social reasons.
I'm not gonna lie. Before I shot this video, I was looking to see, because I'm trying to incorporate scripts into my videos. I've done everything off the dome, off the neck with it, freestyling. A lot of the YouTube videos I like Flacco's videos, I know that fool got a script that he's writing. So I tried to see if I could have, my AI app that I be fucking with, my little Asian bitch, Pi. I was seeing if she could help me with a script for this, right? Or at least, which I wouldn't go off book, or like I wouldn't just go directly from the script. I would ad lib and put my own little flavor on it, but it would be a good starting point. But due to the graphic nature of this story, the settings of my AI wouldn't even allow it to cover this. So I think bro makes an interesting point. Like, there's a lot that the news won't cover and doesn't even want to get into. And at the same time, this is a 17-year-old boy that got killed. So delving into the negative aspects of his life, I can see why that doesn't need to be highlighted, but this is part of a much bigger story, and there's a lot of other players involved, so I think it's important that we continue to dissect this conversation.
If you just got your news from the Philadelphia Inquirer or NBC, then the story is almost always missing context. Due to social media, traditional mainstream media was forced to double back the next day and say, hey, there's a little more to the story here. 30 years ago, this would have never happened, and the story would have been left at that.
But that's why it's good that we have independent journalists. That's why it's important I feel like all of us, like, the people that are creating this content and the people that are reacting to it and pushing it out there for the masses, shit, we keeping it funkier than the motherfucking news, keeping it Yandel.
There was no Instagram to correct the news or YouTube for people like me to make a story with a little more context.
Enforcement sources are telling me they believe
I got a fucking gnarly cold right now, by the way.
Noah Scurry appeared in a rap video with guns that was posted to social media the day before he was killed. New to
Okay. We have to, all across America, how many people have been murdered the day after or the day of releasing a drill video?
tonight, law enforcement sources confirmed there was a rap video uploaded to social media the day before 17-year-old Noah Scurry was shot to death behind his home.
I'm not gonna lie, he kind of snapping though. Is that it's very similar to the McDonald's, the Ronald McDonald, evil Ronald McDonald mask that Jewel was wearing.
In front of his mother, who was getting ready to take him to Samuel Fells High School. A screenshot of the video shows a man in a Joker mask, at times appearing to hold a gun. Sources tell Fox 29 they believe that to be Scurry. In the video, he dances along other individuals who are also holding and showing off guns throughout it.
To hear like professional people speaking on what drill music is, so funny to hear the interpretations.
Let's talk about the ops. They talking about switches and drakes and don't even got them. I'm like the Vince, he talking about his face is going A-whack. That shit out of pocket. I just ran into two ops 2 days back to back and both of them niggas was copping. If I want to hit, then I'm getting up close to shit. So you know ain't nobody surviving.
If I do a hit, I'm getting up close and shit, so you know that nobody's surviving. He's giving away free drill game. He's adding drillness creases to y'all's craniums.
66-year-old man
You gotta get close, especially if you ain't got aim like that. A lot of these motherfuckers got terrible aim, clearly.
is dead, and 3 teens are hurt following a shooting last night in Frankfurt. It happened just before 9:30.
I remember being back in the day, and I was in Oakland, and there was an event, which oftentimes would happen at events would end in gunfire. There's a bunch of youngsters there, and they was all like, I remember they were all aiming low, like they were trying to shoot each other's legs because they didn't really want to. I always thought that was interesting.
30 on the 4600 block of Mulberry Street. The man who died has been identified as Ivan Hall from Philadelphia. 3 15-year-old boys are in stable condition after being shot. Police have not given any more details on what may have led to the gunfire. As of yet, no arrests have been made.
So that's a whole other shooting right there that I guess this guy went through.
Police sources confirmed Noah Scurry was one of 4 people shot in an unsolved May 2023 murder case on the 4600 block of Mulberry Street in Frankfurt, according to police.
All right in the same area. He died on the 4500 block, and this shooting was on the 4600 block.
66-year-old Ivan Hall was shot and killed on Sunday, May 28, 2023, and 3 then 15-year-olds were shot multiple times. Police sources said that Noah Scurry was one of the teens. This shooting places Noah smack dab in the middle of Frankfurt, a section of the city that hosts sets like the Double C's or Certified Clappers, and Parkside. Noah is said to be affiliated with Parkside. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not a Philly gangologist like some people like to believe, nor do I want to be. But from what...
Okay, let's take a look. He's breaking down the fucking soil. He's breaking down the map. This is important. You feel me? You're going to see exactly what time it is. And look on the map. You can see this is, I don't know what quantifies as mass shooting in this context. But yeah, there's an awful lot of activity in Philadelphia.
What I can gather, you got a few groups relevant to this story. According to the person who made this map, this is Parkside or Double C territory.
Right.
Up here is a group of young boys who call themselves the Whackers, and over here is M24 territory. And as you can see, this is where YNG Cheese was killed. Noah.
So YNG Cheese for those that don't know, is the son of legendary Philadelphia rapper / media personality, entrepreneur, Gillie the Kid. One of the dopest podcasters in the game, and really, really slept on, underrated rapper. A lot of people know him for his run with Major Figures throughout, which was his group in Philly, and as well as his work and mentorship of Lil Wayne. He's really was fundamental in Wayne's vast improvement, which was during the early 2000s between the Hot Boy and Squad Up eras, and his subsequent rise to being one of the greatest MCs of all time.
Baby Joker, his street nickname, was very active out here, and his life had a part that may not have been known to his coaches and family. Less than a month after Noah was shot and a 66-year-old man was killed, another tragedy struck near the area when 25-year-old Devin Spady was killed.
A triple shooting in Philadelphia's Albany section claimed the life of an up-and-coming musician. The 25-year-old rap artist was known as YNG Cheese, and he's the son of well-known influencer Gillie the King.
I guess he's Gillie the King now. I've always known him as Gillie the Kid, but that's right. But to call him a well-known influencer, like, there's way more, especially if that report is in Philly. Like, he was one of the biggest rappers to ever come out of Philly that never cracked a major deal like that. He was he's a Philadelphia legend beyond all his media and everything he's done, but just as a rapper. So calling him a prominent influencer is, a little disrespectful in my eyes, but teleprompters are a motherfucker.
Gillie the King has amassed millions of followers, and a lot of them are planning to come here next week for Gillie Fest. It's a big concert. He uses his platform to speak out against violence, and now violence has claimed the life of his son. Police say Devin Spady, better known as YNG Cheese, was one of 3 people shot in the 5800 block of Masher Street in Albany Thursday night.
I'm sure that's really, really difficult for Gillie. He hasn't. It seems like he hasn't quite been the same since this, and the fact that he wasn't able to get. I'm sure he wanted to, and I don't know, there might be circumstances beyond his control. But the fact that that kid was still running around in the hood, man, it's very unfortunate, especially because he did not need to be.
Night. Shot in the back, the 25-year-old rapper was a rising star and the son of one of Philadelphia's biggest stars, Gillie the King. Gillie the King is a rapper turned podcaster turned philanthropist. He and his $1 million worth of game podcast partner, Wallow, also helped give away millions of dollars to support local businesses, and both were awarded the key to the city.
Gillie and Wallow,
great dudes,
have become the unofficial mayors of the city of Philadelphia. How about that, right? They are the voice of the youth.
Talent agent Walt Reeder Jr. has known Gillie the King for years and knows he wanted more for his son. The other 2 people who were shot with YNG Cheese both survived. Police have not made any arrests in the case. In Spring Garden, Taronda Thomas, Channel 6 Action News. Shari?
Yeah, very shocking story to learn of.
Man, unfortunate as fuck.
As is well known, Spady or Cheese.
I can't even imagine that pain. No parent should ever have to bury their child. First of all, but to lose him to something like this, that's got to just twist the dagger even deeper into your soul.
Cheese is the son of comedian and Philly rap legend Gillie. Cheese's death came after him and a group of friends were apparently standing on a corner when shots rang out on the 5800 block of North Masher Street near Nedrow. Around the corner, police also found a 28-year-old man shot twice in the leg and drove him to Einstein. A third victim, a 31-year-old shot in the hip, arrived at the hospital in a private car. Video from the scene shows that a group of men were having a conversation on the corner of Nedrow and Masher when they heard gunshots and started running. No arrests were ever made in this case. No one took credit for this, as obviously that will open up a huge can of worms.
Yeah, because Gillie Ben had the city on smash, and he got money to play with. That was an untouchable that got touched. The son of Gillie, I don't know what he was doing out there in them streets, or I don't know how activated he was, but that's definitely the wrong one. It makes sense that of all the drills, because it seems like every murder in Philly is going to be mentioned. Like the YBC dudes, These fools were doing drills, making songs about it, dissing their ops that they just killed, and sending the links to the mothers of their victims. So, I mean, the fact that nobody took credit for this in Philly should tell you something.
2 years earlier, AJ, or Ajon Jackson, was killed coming home from work. This murder is mentioned heavily by fellow Double C members Hardy and others in their raps. In fact, Hardy has a music video with over 1 million views with lyrics heavily mocking the death of AJ and another M24 affiliate, Twin 5 or Jay, who was killed in March of 2021.
Yeah, the whole doing like dances to mock the, very Naughty Bop-esque dances, mocking the actual means in which people dying is like, there's a whole other layer of fucked upness and just heartlessness and just cruelty that's added when you see it. It just makes it even more morbid.
From taking shit and selling bulls. And you either get some money or you clap, just play your role. They ain't dying just for nothing. That's what happened when you troll. Murder gang. You drop a diss and get it.
You ain't dying over nothing. What do you say? Basically saying if you troll, you're getting smoked. That should be my policy for the trolls on this
Jay,
channel.
Who was killed in March of 2021.
Don't worry, it's not my policy.
From taking shit and selling bulls. And you either get some money or you clap, just play your role. They ain't dying just for nothing. That's what happened when you troll.
They ain't dying just for nothing. That's what happened when you troll. I mean, there is some truth to that.
Murder gang, you drop a diss and get exposed. Niggas spoke on Broski name, we took his life, that's what he owed. Get up close, hit the foot and hit his body, watch him fold. Dummy working 9 to 5, I give it to him, he was bold.
Another teenager is shot and killed.
It's a really, really well put together video. First of all, I think I want to take this time to subscribe to American Confidential and give this video a like. I would encourage all of y'all to do the same.
On the streets of Philadelphia. I'm Yuki Washington.
I'm Jessica Cartalia. 16-year-old Ajon AJ Jackson was shot outside of East Oak Lane home when police say he was ambushed. He and his twin sister had just finished their shift at McDonald's.
Man, I would like to see there's so much talent in Philly. I've said this several times, and I believe that Philadelphia has the best rappers. Not necessarily make the best music, but bar for bar, especially going back to that DVD era, Reed Dollars, ENS, Vodka, Scorp the Boy, Cheek the Raw. There's just so much. There's so many. I can name fools, and Jihad back then. Joey Jihad was so crazy. That was such. There's more dope rappers walking around the streets of Philly than anywhere else. I firmly believe that. I think number 2 is probably Detroit. But I just want to see a resurgence of the actual talent of Philly and not just negative drill records. And I enjoy drill music. I love it. But I want more for the people, man.
Where is he? I never fuck anybody All I have is my fault.
Is that the same sample as that Mud Baby Rue song? Sounds exactly like it. It is the same beat.
That was sick.
At least it's for show the same sample.
Don't speak on bodies in them trenches. I can rap because I did it. Got 2 shooters in one.
What's this called? Gun School or whatever? That by Mud Baby Rue from Arkansas. I swear it's the same sample.
Driver in this squatter in this tenant. That's a man down on the scene. Recall like 5 shots to his biscuit. We most active in the city. Speak on YNG and we spit. I told little bro just bring it here back. Ain't no passes if he lack it. Cause we beef for masses. Splitting niggas telling on what happened. You either get there or you wait cause the clap is running city. Exotic blocks and we got sticks and big ass choppers. Double titties. Tap it.
He's spazzing, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Twice and Friday's ass, he can't react cause this is switchy. All he heard was we in his back with black and grip. Lost some soldiers in that war, they wish they bros come back to life. I lost my dog and brought their head back for my team to make it right. We gon' show your brothers cause they did and you ain't did nothing. Been a year without no get back, why they acting like they did something?
Whoa, been a year without no get back. Why they acting like they did something?
Bro just told me run my movie before it stopped because them feds coming. Yeah, double shit. Oh, he lagging, so I'ma up my glick and beat the drum. He was dumb, I heard low 5, they caught a 9, they have a gun. Now he bum, and we did the dance, fucked off like Kelly Nunn. One, he was dissing on Lil Wani, happy birthday, he got gift wrapped. I know you heard the news, we made him snooze, come get your lick back. Them niggas ain't on shit.
Really good rhyme scheme with the happy birthday, leave a gift wrap. I know you snooze and lose. We got to get back. Like, that was a dope rhyme scheme with the internal rhyme scheme, too.
Not claiming wreck, you know who did that. Keep that switchy on my glizzy like my bitch, so she gon' get that. Heard he living out the way, but we still aiming on the spot. Way them bullets hit him, got him dancing, watching Diddy bop. Brody, he don't say too much, he just be spinning, duck your top. And we never selling ratchets, catch them bodies, then we swap. We matched the lazy with the fast food, and I just did a drill, switch out the Glock, and this bitch brand new.
Man, these kids are fucking demons.
A 16-year-old boy, he had just finished a shift at McDonald's where he worked with his twin sister. They actually got a lift here home. It was when they got out of that car that somebody started firing at them.
This for sure got about the Ooga Booga, what's his name, Ooga Booga? The kid that YBC duel made the Make Buttons and was it McDonald's and Make Buttons song? That record, I'm pretty sure, is about this incident. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat.
You can see there on the ground a McDonald's bag and a wrapper right in front of their home. Police saw this happened before 11 p.m.
No, this might be a different incident because I think that dude was killed at the McDonald's.
On Ferriston Drive near the Philly and Montgo border. Family told police the teen and his sister, they worked at McDonald's about a mile away. They finished work at 10 p.m.
No, this might be the same guy.
Ordered a lift, which dropped them off right in front of their home. When they got out, police say it was two males who came toward them, opened fire, hitting the boy in the torso, the back, and in the head. They fired at least 15 shots. Police say he was clearly the target. The sister was not hit. She was able to run home.
I'm glad they didn't kill the sister, too, straight up.
They talked to other employees at that McDonald's who say that they hadn't seen any fights, no altercations, especially involving the 16-year-old. So police are continuing their investigation.
Of course, the employee's not going to say shit. Look at them motherfucking cameras, dumbass. It's like these motherfuckers don't even want to solve crimes, but hey.
They did find a weapon here on the street, a semi-automatic gun they found on the sidewalk, so they're hoping.
So are these fools just ditching their strap after they do their drill? That's a new thing after the skit? They getting rid of their weapon on site? Like, I don't know.
This brings us to the present day, back and forth shootings between the Northeast sets, which continued. Chris Dowling was shot and killed last February. Fast Break members Anal Bugs and LR, or Lil Ryan, were arrested and charged a few months later. M24 member Juan Brody was the first to alert the public of the shooting with an IG post. Bugs and LR were also charged with the bus stop shooting that injured 8 students heading home from school.
It's crazy how much these fools, it's not even like telling on themselves. It's like they might as well go live and do skits while they're live at this point. You know what I mean? Like, it's beyond telling.
In March of last year,
the sound of gunshots at a SEPTA bus stop. New surveillance video tonight of the dramatic moments that sent teenagers running for their lives when 3 masked gunmen suddenly opened fire. 8 teens were shot and wounded, 2 of them critical.
3 days earlier, the carnage and out-of-control violence.
This is like so sad when you think about just, these are fucking kids, bro.
Violence continued to shock Philadelphia as 17-year-old Damon Taylor was killed. The Philadelphia high school student was gunned down after school during a shooting.
And I'll be honest, like, these beefs get so convoluted and intricate, and it's so many subsections and internal feuding. It's really difficult. Even in someone like me who's a hood anthropologist, essentially, and studies, it's really difficult to figure out the dynamics of the gang beefs and the block-to-block, altercations that occur in Philadelphia. It's really, really confusing.
At the North Philadelphia bus stop that left for
It to me, which adds to the senselessness, because I can break down and follow the LA or Chicago beefs a lot easier, considering like the gangs make more sense and all that. And this right here, it just highlights the senselessness, because it's difficult for me to even grasp what's fully going on here. Maybe some of y'all in the comments can help shed light.
people injured, including 2 women who were on the bus and 2 other teens. The horrific shooting took place just before 3:45 p.m. at Ogans and Godfrey Avenues, when 2 people, at least one with an automatic weapon, fired at a group of young people waiting at the bus stop. Police Commissioner Kevin Bethel said. Multiple rounds were fired, Bethel said. According to the police, shooters fired more than 50 times with an automatic weapon.
They be having them buttons that they're just like, it's like a horse neighing. They just like put out so quick. So quick, you just push a little button and it's 50 rounds in 2 seconds.
Damon Taylor was shot multiple times throughout his body and head, police said. The 17-year-old from the Fern Rock neighborhood died a short time later at the hospital. A girl at the scene can be heard in shock saying, "Oh my God, his face is gone." All of these murders are mentioned because leading up to the
that is morbid as fuck, and that's very, very disturbing. So, trigger warning.
Death of Noah, him and his friends can all be heard.
I guess that trigger warning was a little bit late, but I'll put it at the beginning of the video. I'll let everyone know. Trigger warning, for real.
Rapping about these incidents. And after his death, Noah was linked to several homicides through street rumors. The ones that seemed to gain the most traction were Fat Dame and Cheese.
Let's talk about the ops, they talking about switches and drakes and don't even got them. I'm at the vid, she talking about his face is going A-whack, that shit out of pocket. This ring. I'm at the vid, she talking about his face is going A-whack, that shit out of pocket. This ring into.
Wow. Wow. This also reminds me of the OTF affiliates and all mocking the no that when Quando Rondo shouted out when his cousin got killed. But yeah, all that shit is like crazy, like the mocking of and referencing and reactions of the people, loved ones of the victims, plus the people that were literally on the scene when it occurred. Like, where do we draw the line? Are fools gonna start like bragging about how many people's moms they pistol whip? Like, where do we go from here? How can we get more disrespectful?
Watch through these back to back and both of them niggas was cop. If I'm on a hit, then I'm getting up close to shit. So you know ain't nobody survive. Bro said when he got to the drop, he was coming out the crib, so we gon' call that perfect time. This nigga thought he was my man, he gave me his gun, he must have ain't know I was flying.
Ooh, okay. So now this song right here makes a lot more sense after watching the video. Everything that he references, that's why, again, this dude right here, American Confidential, very, very dope journalism by this guy here.
This phone, what I say last song, I creep up behind him. You on them low ass shoes and call him to get back. How about come catch you a body? Catch a nigga out on the floor and I like my door with the bet. I hop out of front. Niggas can't talk about Chris if we ain't gonna talk about how fat they so left nigga check. Bitch, do you fuck with the ops or not? Cause that little act, we already know if you lying. Out on my block, I don't do the hiding. These the reasons them niggas is dying. Crack a 4 ain't meet the 10. No, we ain't playing defiant. They got a fully behind it. Give me a drop, I'ma bomb it. All that cut is surprising. He don't see me, but I see him. Left and right, let's box him.
Has his parents like said anything to him when he was leaving basketball practice to go to the studio and then like do some skits with the homies? Like, what the fuck? This is a good kid. Highest score in his SATs. Promising basketball career. Or at least could have played D3 ball at the very least. Shit. And I'm sorry, I got this fucking cold that everyone's got in LA right now. But yeah, he did not need to go down this road. He did not need to go down this road at all. And unfortunately, one of the people you wind up allegedly taking before he left was Cheese, a.k.a. Gillie's son.
Also, through unsubstantiated sources, he is linked to the death of Izzy Stanley and the 18-year-old Tin Millie, who both died in June of 2024, a week apart. Now, I'm not trying to go
Now they're going to King Von him and just put every single body on this guy.
around putting murders on people, so please take all of this with a grain of salt. I'm delivering the info that was sent my way, and these seem to be persistent rumors through people who would know. Like people
6 to 10 bodies is crazy. So I heard 4, and now they're saying 6 to 10.
close to him. Damon, or Fat Dame as he was called, went to Imhotep High School. The alleged retaliation shootings a few days later by Fast Break members is referenced by Noah, or Joker, here, where he says,
And Molly telling them bodies like, damn, free Lil Ryan. We the reason why they throwing 5s and then they end up dying. They keep asking, why you couldn't get up? I mean, he wasn't trying. Any nigga, we call cracking forest on the guys we Friday. Power right out there, cut, he ain't need to see it. I know that shit's surprising, but alright, fuck that murder shit, come on. We can switch it.
referencing Jamal Tucker,
Not the Joker mask.
or Molly, the first person arrested when the 8 students were shot at the bus stop, and apparently the first one to start talking and gave up his friends. Joker is heard
Fool goes by the bus stop and just unloaded on the whole fucking group of kids waiting to go home. Oh my God. Shot 8 people. These switches and sticks, like, man, fools had autos, they had choppers back in the day, but this is a new level. This is a new level of urban warfare.
sarcastically saying, "Free Lil Ryan."
Free Lil Ryan, we the reason why they throwing 5s and then they end up dying.
G12 Zai, One Brody, Lil Moot, and other M24 members are known to be cool with Blumberg through mutual friends and family members, and also because of the Zoo Gang Blumberg War. All the smaller factions under them aligned accordingly. M24 and Fast Break are kind of the same in terms of lost homies and members. They have been aligned with the Blum for years. Recently, you started to see Noah getting the backing of Pentown and Zoo Gang members.
That's what I'm saying. It's so confusing, all these different little factions. And now they correlate. It's all crews.
The day before he died, he dropped a song with a rapper named Drench Season who was with Pentown and Zoo Gang. The song, which had zero attention at first, went to over 100,000 views after the news of Noah's passing. The week before Noah died, his basketball team played Imhotep, the school which Fat Dame went to. There was obvious tension about what happened, and the school didn't want an incident. Noah didn't play in the game, and Imhotep blew out Fells.
Damn. So the schools are aware enough of what's going on to know that this kid, that Noah Scurry, a.k.a. Joker, needed to be benched and not play in this game because he's more than likely linked to the killing of Fat Dame, who went to Imhotep. Amazing name for a high school, by the way. Imhotep Charter. That's literally the name of the school. That's insane. I like it a lot. So but they wound up winning. Imhotep Charter won 78-29 because their star point guard, Joker, was benched for the game.
No students were allowed to attend the game either. I got word that there was a summer league game between the two schools and they were going to try to pack Noah out after the game, but he escaped. After Noah was killed.
I mean, yeah, they've shot hella people that went to that school. There's going to be parents probably trying to chip that boy too, let's be honest.
Speculation, as always, ran wild.
They said no students, only no students allowed, only family and friends only. Shit. Better watch some of them family and friends too, no cap.
And short of it was, Noah had numerous ops due to his street activities, many of which were not included in his video. And he was killed. Real or perceived, the threat of Noah was enough for his ops to sit on his house and wait for him to leave for school with his mom and get their form of revenge.
I wonder how Gillie feels right now. Do you guys think that Gillie is happy that a form of street justice has been enacted? Or do you feel like he's grown enough and past that point and his maturity supersedes his rage in this instance? And I wouldn't blame him either way. I wouldn't blame him either way. Take one of mine, I'll take 5 of yours. I get it. But I can only imagine, like, how he feels. What do y'all think? Leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think.
If the bitch I lined outside on the floor, 5 deep in the John.
Did what big man couldn't do and that's put the Joker down. Baby Joker, that's what the jokes is over now. He got.
Okay, so it seems like someone's already, looks like this dude, Big 9 Millie, that's his IG account, is already talking about Scurry getting killed, aka Joker getting killed. He said Batman, the only one that could take the Joker down.
Flame bullets burning his wings. He finally gonna be in hell. I'm scared to go back to the 9 and smoking. I think I'm gonna hear him yell.
The path in life we go depends on the choices in front of us.
Wow, that's crazy. And he's not going to even touch on that, but he's going to put that clip in there. We'll let the Reddit the Reddit detectives and all that do what they do. But sheesh, come on, man.
A lot of the time, people with high intellect go on to be star performers in society. Doctors, engineers, scientists, lawyers. Some other with higher than average IQ think they can beat the system, that they are smart enough to beat the streets. Or sometimes people like Noah think they can straddle the line and be a high school top performer by day and Baby Joker, the street demon, at night.
Every time I hear Baby Joker, I think of the movie Friday. I'm an Aztec warrior. Or next Friday, sorry. Really good final thought, Jerry Springer final thoughts that this creator is doing and breaking it down. And I agree with what he's saying. However, like, I also think, at what point do the responsibility fall on the parents to try to intervene? Because how is this kid allowed to be out there running amok and doing this? Like, how, especially when he has so much potential, especially when he's such a good kid. Is he trying to straddle the fine line, or is he just outside doing what he do without that much regard or, like, restrictions? I don't know, because, you know, I had great parenting and I still wound up fucked up too. And I still got in a lot of trouble too. Would I have if I did? I don't even think I would have finished high school if my parents weren't on my helmet the way in which they were. They made sure I finished school. So I don't know. Maybe because of where this kid grew up and the circumstances that he wasn't able to have as physically present parents, and that's just an assumption, because I don't get the duality of this guy's existence and how it was able to continue in the way it did for so long and have such dire, tragic consequences. And how could this person that clearly wanted to be a functional member of society in one hand and go out there and, do his best on the court and do his best in the classroom and took his SAT so he could go to school and had put stellar scores on the board and all that by day, and then this fool wants to be out there in the mix with the drillers, with the drilling bulls at night, gripping the Johns. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how it happened, and he's clearly a super brilliant person who made some very, very wrong decisions.
But as evidenced by this story, it never ends up the way you want it to. The streets are a lie, and Noah.
Yeah, for sure. The streets are a lie. The streets never gonna love you. And if you have a choice, because a lot of these dudes that are out there drilling, they ain't got SAT scores. They ain't got any option. If you have an option, get the fuck up out of there. Please, please, I beg you guys, get the fuck up out of there and do better. Come back for the homies when you can.
Fell right into the trap, a brilliant future wasted for the want for revenge and twisted justice. I'ma leave it there for now. Thanks for watching American Confidential, and until next time, be safe.
Very dope video that bro made. I'm not gonna lie. I want to see if there's any other Easter eggs at the end. Oh yeah, no, he's not gonna stop. Yeah, let's take a look at these. Let's take a look at the rest of this video. Because I like that he sneaks little nuggets in there of information. So this is somebody, C-Baby, saying, get your rest, Cheesy. That boy gas now. So Cheesy is a reference to Gillie's son, Cheese. He can rest now. I think it's one of his baby pictures. That boy gas now, referring to Joker. So it seems like Joker 100%, or not 100%, that most people believe that he's responsible directly for the killing of Cheese, and this was retaliation for that, amongst other things. Could have been a lot of things, but amongst other things, it was clearly that. Let's see what else. If there's anything else. So this is a Fuchsia's TV, Infamous Mob. Fan show story post of somebody speaking on the 17-year-old player who got killed in Philly and says Gillie, the kid's son, can get his rest now. Okay. That's people reacting to that post, or that story post, which has a Smirkio song on it. So if you read these comments, M24 Fast Break TSN claims Noah was the one responsible for the murder of Gillie's son, YNG Cheese. This fool said Cap, Melliway said Cap, I seen that bid bro in a whip look older. Confused other page said Fast Break. So it's very confusing, this whole thing. I'm so confused by this post is what it says. For being a basketball player. Let's see if there's more. Okay. Yeah, this is a terrible, tragic story. Again, shouts to American Confidential for covering it very, very well. Give that original video a like and subscribe to the channel as well for more content. All my Philly drill connoisseurs out there and Philadelphia music connoisseurs out there, let me know your thoughts, and to the city of Philly and the parents of all the victims of violence that were discussed in this video. My heart and prayers are with you forever. With that being said, please like, share, subscribe. Let me know how you feel in the comments. Lush Uno. Hopefully, I beat this cold's ass and put it in a pack by tomorrow. All right? Y'all be smooth. We about this biatch.